Alright, this is just like, don't mind the look. I just woke up from a nap. So make sure you turn up the contest when you are on my channel to hear this message. You might relate to this message. You might not. Take what resonates. So, it's been a gloomy day because of the rain, so I've been sleeping, resting. I was supposed to be up here earlier today, but I'm gonna be here tomorrow. I was like, you know what? I have to take the time out to see what it is that I'm seeing in my vision and let it come to me. Like, for, like, this vision was a representation of rebirth and resurrection. Somebody coming out from their cocoon and into their, like, godly form. Hi, welcome on in. I'm okay. I just woke up. Sorry, I'm not on today on regular program. I'll be up here tomorrow on regular schedule. But I had to take the time out to really pay attention to this vision. This is part two of this mermaid that I spoke of before, or like this god, or if you want to call him Poseidon. Make sure you check out part one. I'll link it underneath the video, or I'll put it in the comment section somewhere. This is just like part two of the vision. This is This is like the rebirth of this god coming back. Like, I had so many downloads today. It's ridiculous. It was coming out of, like, this energy was coming at me out of nowhere, and it was hard for me to focus at the same time because the visual was so, like, in my face. It was so hard to, like, be in that world because it felt like too personal, like too sinister. Like, it was a it was a good time for them and also for me. It was a lot of energy. It was more than just this individual god. It was a lot of gods and goddesses rebirthing in this storm. It's because we had a storm today where I lived, and this storm gave me. I was sitting outside. If you haven't seen the short video, make sure you go watch it out. I was sitting outside. I was like, am I really listening to this? Like, is somebody really showing me the story, or like telling me the story, like, right there in that moment? And hours later, I go to sleep by by accident. But I've been up since the past week, and then I haven't gone to sleep until today. So, like, when I slept for the first time this week, I was like, oh my god. It was like my dreams were more lucid than normal. I sometimes make myself stay up because I can, like, not fantasize, but I can, like, manifest. Even though fantasy has a play with manifestation, if you can fantasize a lot, then you can definitely manifest. So you can use that as, like, a powerhouse. Um, so, like, this individual rose up from the waters, aka, I guess, what symbolizes conscious. The way that he rose up, it was a lot of people. Like, at one particular point inside of the storm, there's a lot of protons, like a lot of light beams coming out of it. And I kept seeing each one of them being taller or being shorter than the next, and then everybody was just a light. I couldn't really identify who they were just yet. Um, Everybody was just coming towards me, and they was just like standing in a line in the street, and for some reason I felt my energy there. Like, I was one of the protons there too, like one of the light beams, and we did this whole like dancing ceremony thing out in the rain, celebrating the rebirth of us. Like, it was beautiful, dark, and felt at home at the same time. Like, we was all just using our gifts, our power. Like, we was so unapologetic with it. It was very beautiful. And during each lightning strike, each being came down with a different set of gifts. And then I saw the big man, or I saw the divine, like, presence. He's just a light. He didn't have a name. He didn't really speak. He he spoke to me telepathically in a way, or he spoke to me visual with pictures. Um, he showed me the divine masculine, this particular divine masculine that's rising out of his sunken place and into his power of into rebirth and resurrection. He rose up from the water instead of fire. I was like, how is that possible? Because during my resurrection, I rose from the fire. He rose from water, and I was like, that's that was a big transformation. And this individual, hi, welcome on in. I'm only here for like a short minute. I'm gonna be up here tomorrow, regular schedule. Sorry, y'all, I was not up here. I had to sleep because my ass was tired. Um, yeah. So this individual, it's it was crazy because at that moment I couldn't understand why these light beams, these protons, was like coming at me, and they're still around. Like their energy, I can still feel because like I'm still half awake and half asleep. So I'm in between worlds at the moment. So I'm trying to stay focused to tell you the story. But it's like as I'm there, it's more stuff happening. So I'm not even writing this down. So I told myself, you know what? When I get these visions, just go on YouTube and share them. That will be your shadow work, or that will be your journal, and you can always come back to the vision when necessary. Um, so this individual rose, like he literally split the water as he rose. Like he walked through that bitch like no problem. I'm like, how the fuck did you do that? Because I did that during my resurrection, my rebirth, but I did it with fire instead of water. And I was like, there's gonna be a new sets of light beings coming through. We're not the same consciousness as we were before. Like we was aware of our consciousness. It's like this new generation, like sets of gods is returning from an old time, rebirthing into this new time. And it's really, it's beautiful, but we're gonna have a lot of challenges. But the thing is, we already declared war. We said the war was over to the other side, to like the other lower parts of ourselves. And like we stood our ground and we stood on business. So it was like not only there was the light beings, it was also our ancestors, archangels, like mostly just everybody you can kind of imagine in one room. And we was kind of controlling the dead with our mind, like they were puppets. And it was weird because like during the whole entire day, I kept seeing I see myself like this all the time, but as of today, it kept being more visible in my face. Like I was I was levitating on a ceiling. Like I finally came down. It seemed like I was there for a very long period of time. I don't know how long, but it seemed like a long time because it seemed like I never changed my avatar during that time. It was kind of like the avatar I'm in, and now it was more of the like antichrist type of version of me, and then I saw people that I recognized in my reality there, and then but they were their dead version self, or their goddess or god version self, or their ancestor version self, however you want to put it. And each one of us, what stood out was like my family was there. I was like, because I was listening to music during this time as I was visualizing this or seeing this vision. As I saw myself like on the ceiling, I was just like levitated. I couldn't, I couldn't come down for shit because I guess I was so angry of what happened to me in my reality. I said, alright. But then they had to convince me to come down into my power, into my knowing, and telling me that this is real. So I finally, eventually came down, and each one of us was starting to use our gifts, our power, and um, we went into the library. It's this particular spiritual library that we go to. It's like, I don't want to give out the location specifically in the astral world because like it's only exclusive to certain bloodlines, certain blood types, or like I don't know how to say it. It's for my like ancestral family tree, or those who are connected to my timeline can only enter. Not everybody is able to see this. So if you're lucky enough to see these visions, odds are you are part of one of the few who are connected to this storyline or this timeline. So so we went into the library. We started to fix up the library. We started to put the books back on the shelves, and we started to find all the notes and all the knowledge that we was um, like learning at the time. And they was telling me how I'm able to bring back my knowledge um, back to earth is by literally visualizing myself during those times that I was studying, because every time I was studying, I was somewhere else during that time. I'm in Atlanta, but yeah. So this is like the library's been fixed, and then there are other times in visions we are on an airplane and we're just like having a meeting or something, and I'm able to transport my surroundings in that inside of that plane. A lot of us can do it too. Those who are connected. Um, yeah. So like during the on the plane, that's where I'm normally at in the astral world. Like we're just sitting above the Garden of Eden tree on a plane, and it's like for detailed purposes, it's purple or sometimes blue with LED lights, and we kind of use these LED lights to like travel our memories, to travel into our timelines or frequency. And I realize they're associated with our chakras, so if you want to like do all that shit, but know all that shit, but yeah, it's it's weird because I don't know, like that vision was like very visionary, very lucid. I've been lucid all fucking day. Like even when I go outside now, the like outside don't even really look like outside to me. And I don't take any lucigen or like anything like that. And I'm just natural. I might smoke marijuana, but I don't have any marijuana right now. So I'm like, how am I able to just still be here or still be there? It's just like it's weird. So yeah, that was like part of the vision that I saw. That was part two. It was like other times in this vision where we was fighting our other selves or the lower vibrational beings or our shadow selves. Like, we literally declare a war that was happening in the ether that nobody was not talking about. Like, not even online. And I was like, why isn't nobody speaking about this? Like, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one getting these visions, or there's tons of other people getting these visions. And then one of the light protons, or one of the protons just came up to me and said, just pull people from yourself. Just pull people from your solar chakra. You know how to do it. You did it before. And then we traveled, and then they showed me how I did it before. I was like, oh, that's how I did it. Because, like, I knew I recognized my own energy, my own power and gifts. But I just be wanting to break down scientifically how I'm able to pull from the ether into reality. So it's, once you dive deep into who you are and just accepting your power, it's your reality and your mind becomes like very more at ease. Like, you start to accept you for who you are versus you wanting to have approval, acceptance from other people. It's not a popularity contest when it comes to these gifts. It's no better God or no better, like, this is not the third, like, power. We're all supposed to just come back with the knowledge that we had before, so we can even create a bigger blueprint, so we don't continue getting lost after reincarnation. Because I noticed, I'm gonna have a separate video for that too. What happens when you awaken from reincarnation, and the testimonies you go through during reincarnation when remembering your past life. Because once you remember your past life, hello, welcome on in. I'm only here for a little bit. I'm gonna be on tomorrow as regular schedule. Yeah, so it's weird. So I'm gonna talk about stuff like that, like past life and resurrection, and the testimonies we have to go through when we're in a duality conscious state, what you can do with your gifts. Because after duality, there's a 12th dimension or a 12th level of spirituality that we have to kind of go through. Duality is the 11. That's why they call it dual. So it means like the 11, like two. So you're able to split your consciousness between good and evil, depending on your perspective of the situation of who needs it. You're literally like the walking karma, whether you want to accept it or not. That's what kind of like the divine presence put you for. Because you have to, it's something about your old karma, like your old life. You have to fulfill a purpose for it and revamp your life the way you want it, instead of controlling the people around you. It's not about controlling anybody. It's really controlling you, or getting to know you at the end of the day. So, yeah, this shit was so fucking weird today. I was like, can somebody get me out of this shit? I was asleep all fucking day. I couldn't even wake up. I woke up like 20 minutes ago. 16 minutes, 19 minutes ago. Well, I don't know how this future shit works. But time is so different now. So, what the fuck? But yeah. But stay tuned for more videos, because I was so turned on by this being, like just being in tune with himself. I was like, I was kind of jealous, because I was like, I wish I could be like that with my powers. But I'm like, okay, maybe I can learn from him, or pick up a few knowledge and apply it to wisdom. So I'm like, alright, I'll keep a lookout. I keep watching, because like, I'm telling you, In my dreams, I'm like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, if you can picture me, because every time I go to the dream state, they put me on some type of mission first before I can actually have my own fantasy world. And they will do these subliminal messages towards me throughout the day of what it is that I gotta slay, or what demon or what vampire I gotta like capture for the day. And I'm like, okay. Especially in commercials or like ads, they start to talk to through me that way. Like these angel numbers been coming at me like nonstop for the past 3 days now. Like at this point, I'm glad I'm seeing them, but I'm sick of seeing them because I don't know what to do with them. I'm like, at this point, I can just show up for the manifestation and let it ride. And that's all I can do. I can't control anymore. The only thing I can do is just keep creating and creating because, like, that's what I've been doing is by thinking and visualizing. That's how you can get far. Literally, thinking and visualizing. But if you're trying to, like, teleport and all that shit, that's more of a fantasy type of shit. You can teleport. I done it once, never again, because I got stuck somewhere. But I will probably talk about that stuff like tomorrow or in another video. So yeah, I just want to come up here to share that moment with y'all, I guess. And then I'm slowly finding more people that I talk to in the ether online. And then I'm looking at their, like, spirit more than their looks. But when I get these downloads and I ask their spirit, like, don't I know you? And then they respond back to me. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is getting a little bit too freaky and too real at the same time. So you have to really balance yourself when you're in the presence of yourself. So you can just like accept that this is real. I'm still having a hard time sometimes accepting that it's real. Even though I know I want it to be more real, but it's like I'm I'm good for right now. So yeah. I'm gonna go back to sleep or something. I'm gonna watch a movie. I was watching Ghostbusters earlier, so I'm gonna finish watching that. There's a lot of gems in Ghostbusters. I'm like, oh shit, that's what we've been doing the whole entire time? I'm like, okay. But, cause I like the guy from Stranger Things. He's so cute. I'm like, oh, he's adorable. I'm like, he's awesome. I didn't know he grew up so fast just from those little times of being on Stranger Things. I'm like, wow, okay. He has that like Neptune, Poseidon type of energy when I see him, and I'm like, yeah, he looks like Percy in a way. Like he had to be like the reincarnation of Percy, and like other things. But yeah, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. I promise. But make sure you watch part one if you haven't seen part one of the story, or like the vision of everything. So I'll link it down below. Thank you for the love, much love and light. What the fuck, bro? I was like, okay. But yeah, and I'm clearing out my YouTube search of gurus who I used to look up to for spiritual stuff. I realized their energy no longer fits my energy. Like every time I'm trying to go back and reconnect with them, I just can't. I guess it's a new era. I need new sets of teachers, or I need new sets of, like, I don't know. But everything is just like a rebirth, a clearing, and just accepting who you are. So yeah, but I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow. Make sure y'all be here at 3 or 2 p.m. my time, Atlanta time. If you don't, you're missing out. It's on you. So bye. Love and light.